how do you guys see yourselves at chess.com, like in the whole ecosystem of chess? Because a lot of people are thinking about chess.com, especially nowadays, as this entity that's trying to monopolize chess, more or less. And we can get
Chess
into
mafia.
that. The chess mafia. Okay, whatever. You can call it whatever you want. You guys have bought some companies throughout the years, and obviously that brought its own discussion. How do you guys see yourselves as in the ecosystem? Like, what's
the big question?
Yeah.
We see ourselves as a platform to play chess and a service for people who want to get better, fundamentally. That is what we see ourselves as. We have always believed in events to serve the professionals and where we could leverage audiences to grow the game, right? And by leverage, that sounds like maybe a bad word, but leverage the moments that matter, as I've called them. Sporting events are ultimately about FOMO.
Sure.
Fundamentally, that's where a lot of the big advertising dollars are going toward, because they know that people will tune in when they have fear of missing out. Chess doesn't have enough of those events. That's why we need better stories. Other than the occasional FOMO that people get around chess events, which isn't that often, chess events are a loss leader and they're a service for professionals, and we think it's good. And it's where I came from, being a failed child chess cult prodigy kid. You know, I'm always going to believe in that.
Plus, yeah.
And so, but no, we see ourselves fundamentally as a platform to play chess and to learn. We would much prefer others to sort of solve the problems and or the dysfunction of the things that we've been talking about for the last 20 to 30 minutes, to be honest with you. We would love for our online events to serve professionals and to, you know, shrink the world, if you will. We talk about shrinking the world with education, shrink the world in terms of opportunities, where if I had my way and everyone was earning, a lot of professionals were earning $1,000 online somehow via a combination of chess events and whatever, I would love that. That's not possible because there's too many people that that we're trying to figure out ways for that to be the case, but we never wanted to be an events company. Now that we have some cool events that we're really proud of, you know, like the Speed Chess Championship and others, we try to deliver an amazing product there.
But you guys managed to sort of create this aura, for a lack of a better word, of still owning the event, even if you guys are not necessarily organizing it, because you're putting on the show for the most part. Like you guys send your teams, and it's an official chess.com broadcast, and that's what people see. They don't see the organization, let's say, behind it, but they see the show that you guys put together. So that kind of makes you a part of the over-the-board chess as well.
Yeah, and that's fair. I mean, I think that's part of our model in terms of what I would check under the platform. There's like platform.
Like you have a lot of influence. Like
we do have a lot of
outside
influence.
of the internet, you know, chess world.
Yeah, I mean, no, our brand has become synonymous with chess for a lot of people, right?
Sure.
And I think the domain has played a big part of that. We've been fortunate with that, and I think we've invested in a great product around that. I would argue that the product is good. And the way we've tried to develop relationships with organizers is, hey, we do happen to have the largest audience, and it is, you know, it's a big one. And if you broadcast on our site, you reach that audience. We've leveraged tools to help the creator ecosystem grow, which happened early on when we kind of started doing it with Twitch and the embed for viewership and to help people who were on a chess site. It was a big gamble initially to let people on a chess site leave a chess site because we were embedding YouTube and Twitch under the idea that we were taking our users away. But we played the long game and kind of figured that if someone's interest in chess goes up, all roads will lead back to Rome eventually. So allow them to leave. It was actually a very big internal kind of battle as we built out the ecosystem there. I know I'm not fully answering your question, but I'm kind of describing the philosophy that got us here.
Sure.
Which is like a platform for play, a platform to learn, a platform to then, the third thing was like serve the professionals, and they help check those boxes. And then what happened in the middle of that was, as the audience grew, and frankly, we became kind of the market share leader, we became the partner for everybody, because why are they putting on a show if they don't want people to watch it? What a lot of people don't know is that there are many shows who use our platform and have our logo on, and they ask to put it on. It adds some value there, but we're not the broadcast. We're actually not. It's just on our platform, right? And there are obviously different levers of that. Like the freestyle team is one that we've had a more robust partnership with to try to help, at least in these early stages, and we hope to continue and hope that Hope that continues to be a good thing. We'll see where freestyle is going. That's a larger discussion, right? There are partnerships like the EWC where we're providing the full qualification path, right? Because like we're kind of the only ones who can really do that for them. But in many ways, the platform itself became a tool for organizers to reach audiences. And then what I always say to them is say, well, if you don't have to work with chess.com, but also like a lot of them put on a show because there's a philanthropist who's funding it and they want to reach people. They want people to see their vision. There's things they talk about. And like, so they want to reach our audience. And so we provide the tools for that,
One thing I've wondered is why has chess.com acquired so many other chess companies? For example, Play Magnus Group, of course, but also Chess Bomb and also Chessable, which I guess was part of Play Magnus Group, right? But,
yeah, Chessable was part of that.
But a lot of different, you've taken over a lot of different things and kind of, I guess, turned them into chess.com.
Each one of those has their own specific reason. So there's no global strategy for chess.com to like acquire companies. M&A was actually never something we wanted to do. We acquired, the first acquisition I think we ever made was actually Chess Vibes with Peter Dockers years ago. And that was because we wanted to have better news. And we thought we were basically acqui-hiring. We basically acquired Chess Vibes to hire Peter. So that was like what we did. Chess Bomb was a tech hire because we wanted to have an events viewer and we had none. And Chess Bomb was interested in the partnership. And frankly, it was a way when you make an acquisition, there are like three reasons you make it. One is talent. The other is tech, and the other one is audience. That's like kind of just the business sort of triangle normally. And there can be others too, as far as increased monetization opportunities. You could argue that Chessable that's under that thesis, and I'll talk about that in a second, which is also, I would argue, an increase to give back into the ecosystem. But those are the only reasons any company acquires, right? Talent, tech, or audience. We're not really in a business of acquiring people for audience because we have the largest audience. The only reason we would ever do it is if we thought someone has amazing tech that kind of speeds up our ability to get there, or if they have amazing talent. So when it comes to PMG, it was kind of a combination of all those things. Like they had probably the biggest talent in the world named Magnus Carlsen. And we had never had a relationship where Magnus was working with chess.com. And the theory was 1 + 1 could equal 3 or maybe 5. If we were working with Magnus with goals to grow the game, that makes sense. Chessable is a combination of tech because they had the course technology and kind of the space repetition stuff they had built. And they also had an audience and an ecosystem of kind of the a la carte marketplace on top of our subscription business kind of made sense, which was we could add courses for something to people to invest in chess, their education. And ultimately, we still have the theory, there's a lot of things being done right now with chess.com/courses and some goals we have. I mean, I'll be honest, the product really isn't in a great place, and we know that. We're working on it. Our thesis is that if we figure out the right way to motivate people to learn that opening course by Fabiano Caruana and deliver it in a timely manner, that our audience is literally 10,000x what Chessable could ever be, and that we have the potential to double, triple, 5x the amount of revenue flowing back into the ecosystem. Yes, chess.com will make money on that, but ultimately we actually think that there's a real world where courses and the idea that premium members want to buy a few opening courses a year is actually a fantastic thing for everybody. And we think our scale can do a lot of good things. So that is actually the hope. Okay. That was kind of the main reason we did the acquisition, were those 2 points, were Magnus Carlsen and Chessable. There were actually, do you know that PMG had 13 companies? A lot of people don't know that. We have actually divested like all of them. We have given back New in Chess. We have given back Everyman Chess. There are many others that they owned all of Ginger GM's content. Mm-hmm. We gave it all back to Simon Williams, and there was iChess stuff, whatever. Like, and I'm not saying that like, in some way, like, that but it's
all
altruistic.
iChess disappeared, right? For example, iChess just disappeared, didn't it?
Well, we paid revenue for a while on this. I actually don't even know where iChess is at. I
was like reasonably sure it disappeared because I know that a lot of people who were in the process of making iChess courses, they were told to work with Chessable.
Yes, and I think that is a part of it. I think that is what happened. And I don't know where the legacy content lives, actually.
I think it got turned and converted into Chessable.
Yeah.
And well, okay, that's
anyway,
probably a minor detail.
We're not in the business of trying to run every chess business. We are not.
Do you feel like you guys are becoming a monopoly at this point? And do you think that could be a problem?
I do not, and I can say that what a lot of people don't know is we've already been investigated for being one.
Mm-hmm.
When we
Well,
made,
that's what Kramnik is basically hinting at right now.
well, I mean, Kramnik is not launching an investigation, nor is
And
he
we'll go
actually
into that
filing
as well.
lawsuits. He's not. I mean, Kramnik is screaming into the abyss of social media for attention, but there is no lawsuit that has been filed, and there is no actual claims. Just so you know, if there was, I would know. So there's not even anything to respond to in that regard. The Department of Justice investigated us when we made the acquisition, and they actually found out several things that are like just non-starters. I think people throw around the word monopoly, again, back to like, education. And I don't mean this term to sound, defensive, or in some ways this term itself is a term used to sort of disparage people. But, ignorance by definition means lack of education or information. And I think a lot of people throw out that word because they're ignorant as to the meaning or as to what it actually means in the market. And there are many things about this. One, barrier to entry. Nobody owns chess. And this isn't like a comparison of, yeah, you say that, but Lee Chess is smaller and there's other chess sites. What people don't understand that Google and Meta and Amazon and any of the big ones, if you want to call Microsoft or Apple, could do to the chess market, if you think about what chess is worth and what they're at, when you look at the barrier to entry for a major player to enter this space, it is like 0 to 60. Our market is much smaller than people think. That's the first thing that the DOJ established very strongly, is that no one owns chess. And not only that, chess.com doesn't even own their premium product. That makes us so disruptible. People can literally, because you don't own the fundamental game or the PGNs within it, we can't even protect against someone copying our features like game review or other stuff. And so what I try to help people understand and educate on this is that actually the reason we've reach the market share we have is because we've done a really phenomenal job building a product on top of something that's free. And I've said this before, people go, you're monetizing something you don't own that's free. And then other people in business go, damn, you're monetizing something you don't own and is free. You must understand some shit and have done some really great things with that product. Otherwise, how could you have possibly reached the market share you do? So here's the deal. Barrier to entry is 0. Barrier to entry to disrupt our premium product is 0. I mean, I think as Hollins actually said when he was interviewed by Dina, it was funny for him saying at first, after calling us Chess Mafia, to go quickly to, at first it'll be free and then we'll monetize later, right? As if like the goal is to, he hopes to do the exact same thing, right? And then the last thing I would say again is that what people don't understand about the creator ecosystem is that not only do we have a much more symbiotic relationship with creators who drive subscribers have a piece of that revenue. The affiliate program has paid out millions. And Levy Rosman would probably never say what he makes passively right now as our top creator. And I'm not flexing on the other ones who are competing with him. Love Hikaru, Botez, Chessbras, others. Levy makes a lot of money on premium memberships on chess.com. They have a piece of the pie. So it's not like a small thing. That's not even talking about the millions of dollars that Chessable has created as far as revenue for authors in the ecosystem, right? So what I would say is there's actually a much more symbiotic relationship there than people think. But further, if you look at the revenue that the creators are bringing in, and this is the last thing that the DOJ realized, is that they make their money on YouTube and on Twitch and on other things. There actually isn't a world where someone couldn't leave chess.com and use another platform and actually put their livelihood at risk in the way that you think. They could.